Well, greetings and thanks for joining us for another episode of Lightbulb Moments, episode number 176. We're glad you're with us today. Lightbulb Moments is on most Wednesdays live at 10 a.m. Central Time. We're also on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. I'm Tom Kuhn. I'm host and curator of Lightbulb Moments. I'm also CEO and founder of Qnity. A light bulb moment is a realization, enlightenment, or inspiration. And remember, you can't start a fire without a spark. Hopefully, these sessions give you some spark to move you forward to a simpler path towards prosperity, whatever that looks like for you. To prosper, remember to manage your ATM, the three currencies we have in life: attention, time, and money. And thanks for spending your precious time and attention with us today. We love hearing from you, whether it's by chat, email, or comment. Certainly feel free to use the comment, whether you're participating live or podcast or YouTube. We love hearing from you. Also, we'd love to get emails and other comments about this forum, as well as guests, ideas, or light bulb moments of your own. Check out past episodes. Our last episode, which was 2 weeks ago, was with Jared Sanders, CPA, and this is the CPA firm that we work with for the 2024 Salon P&L benchmark study. Jared and I gave a little bit of a preview of where we're at in the project, and we are soon coming to conclusion, and the results are fascinating. In early February, we will start to have one-on-ones with participants, and we'll start to publish some of our findings. So our last session gave a little bit of preview on that, and certainly in upcoming episodes, we're going to be speaking about this a lot because it fundamentally will give us a new lens to look at profitability in the beauty industry. It's absolutely fascinating, especially since we're looking back 10 years ago, not only looking at a 2-year trend, but going back 10 years ago to see how the climate in the beauty industry has changed for profitability, and it has. Lightbulb Moments is sponsored by Zenoti, as well as Lightheart Sanders. And so thanks for them, to both of them, for helping to make this forum possible. First quarter calendar, I can't believe we're 3 weeks into the new year already. We've got several events. We've already done Serious Business, and there was a Davines event that we participated in. We do have a special multi-location only event coming up this weekend with a handful of multi-location salons on the East Coast in Philadelphia. We also have a execution virtual group that is starting February 17th. And then in Austin, at the very beginning of March, we have 3 programs. We have a Succession Masterclass, our Profit Workshop, and our Growth Workshop. We also are starting a new group of those that want to work on their succession plans. And then we have an execution workshop in Minnesota at the beginning of April. And then, of course, the Phil event happening May 18th through 20th. With the upcoming quarter, again, I've already mentioned the 2024 Salon P&L benchmark study, so that will definitely be heavy on the calendar. We also have Monday noon scheduled for those that are clients or members, and our next one is February 10th. Our Function Forum, we just had one 2 days ago. It was on the subject of marketing, and we do those 8 times a year also. And then the Phil, I'm loving our theme, which is play, which is going to allow for gamification, allow for tactile learning, experiential learning. It's going to take some of our programs up a notch, and I'm super excited about this theme coming up at the Phil. We'll soon be announcing some of our speakers and a little more details about our second annual partnership with University of Texas, Austin. Don't forget about Money O2, a podcast that's led by Aaron Kuhn-Bensali. Great money stories, so check those out. My Lightbulb Moment last session 2 weeks ago really was about launching the new year and getting recentered on the Qnity values, which is impact, respect, community, integrity, and opportunity and growth. And we went through 2 episodes ago, some of the impact, whether it's in the school company, the data work that we're doing, Qnity for Business. We also went through some of the things we're launching in 2025. So those were my light bulb moments last session. This week, my light bulb moment is really going to be about evolve. More specifically, Serious Business Moments 2025. So Serious Business ended, was it 2 weeks ago? It's all been a blur here. It's been less than 2 weeks ago. Anyway, so Serious Business, I want to share some moments this year because I always do this the middle of January, middle of the end of January, because I feel that every year in January, going to an event is very meaningful, at least me personally. And I'm a big fan of events because that personal connection, there's no substitute for that eye to eye. And Serious Business in their 26th year, which is a neo production and is committed to the continuing growth and development of our special industry. And I think I've been to, out of 26 years, I think I've been to 23 of the 26. I've probably spoken at about 10 of them. And this year, I was able to really not speak or really do anything other than just connect with people and just observe, listen, and learn. And so I'm going to just share some highlights with you from Serious Business this year. It'll be a quick episode. And first of all, the gathering of humans is a great opportunity to do things that are really nice to do in person. And I have a photograph on the screen, which if you're viewing this, you can see it. If not in the podcast, I'll describe to you. There's a table with four people sitting around. One is a notary, and the other three are really members of the Devante team. And I was able to be a witness and sort of a guest to the signing of documents. I always love seeing new owners come into the industry, and shout out to Tracy Hearing of Devante. I think she's joined us in the background today, so you can give her a little chat shout out. But she really did things right. I mean, she basically has been working over a long period of time to make two key employees partners in Devante. And it was really cool to have this signing party. And then I was able to be part of it and have a little, I think we had a champagne. If we didn't have champagne then, we had champagne later. So anyway, shout out to Tracy, Melody, and Kippen from the Devante team. I believe that this is public enough that Tracy's comfortable with me sharing. However, her team will be finding out very shortly. So anyway, a milestone within a milestone event. So shout out and a great moment. Certainly Carol Augusto, who's been involved in Serious Business since, oh gosh, I don't know how many years. There's a little note about that here. I actually don't know how many years, but out of 26 years, she's been director for probably 20 of them, maybe all of them. I don't know. So anyway, it was a shout out to Carol and Deborah Neal and Rick Bowden. I think did a fantastic job of being the show directors. Big loss for Carol, but it was a really nice celebration for Carol. Then, out of all the different speakers, there was one that maybe was I'd say most anticipated. I had Deborah Neal and Garrison Neal as guests on, I think it was sometime in December, and they talked about some of the speakers. And this one in particular, Deborah was really explaining and also creating some anticipation on. And so this is from someone by the name of Lua Arthur, who is a death doula. Now, what is a death doula? It's non-medical and holistic care and support for dying person and circle throughout the process. And it was really a fascinating session. And ironically, I had a chance I left the event the same time that Lua did. And so we had a chance to walk a few blocks together and I got to know her a little bit. But it really was reframing grief and also looking at the gift of grief. So certainly that was a very unique session. She also has a book. She's a best-selling author. So if you're interested in this topic, so she's a New York Times best-selling author and certified death doula. She reframes the concept of death, helping readers and audiences alike to embrace the unknown as a way of enhancing life. Really cool segment. At our booth, we had a very unique element at our booth this year. We were exhibitors at Serious Business, and we created a little play, a little bit of a tic-tac-toe board. JP and Michelle from our team had a lot of fun, as well as participants. And so it really was celebrating the theme of play for the fill and creating some interaction at the booth. Always nice to see people as an exhibitor. And then, of course, we had our, I think, 9th annual dinner, and this is the biggest dinner. It's got to be the biggest dinner at Serious Business. I mean, 9 straight years, we've had an over 60-person dinner, and it's a community dinner, and it's really a great time for people to just get together and dine. We open the invitation up to first to people that came last year, clients, friends, sponsors, whatever. We had about 75 people this year. Zenoti helped with a little bit of sponsor. We really weren't seeking sponsors, but we had a couple companies that say, hey, can we help sponsor this by buying a drink or, doing something? And so Zenoti and Minerva were present. And they also were sponsors. So shout out to Zenoti. That was Mike Nass, and that's Felicia, and that's Cash from the Zenoti team. And that is Jeff Grissler, the one and only Jeff Grissler, with his self-proclaimed celebrity chef status. He was a great friend and partner to be there. Also, Lightheart Sanders was present there. And then we had Van Council, and we had Lucas Council there. And I gave them a little bit of a shout out because, again, on this concept of bringing in partners into the business and emerging leaders, we celebrated Lucas becoming CEO of the Van Michael Salon. So I got to sit right across from them at dinner. Jeff Grissler was in the background trying to steal the stage there. And but it was great to see Van, it was great to see Lucas, and it's great to see another multi-generational family business. Lucas and Van will be guests very soon on Lightbulb Moments. We'll get a chance to unpack what their partnership looks like as a father and a son, what's going on at Van Michael and all of that. And then, of course, we have members of the Qnity team there that we don't get to see all the time, such as Laura Graven and Candice Gliato, Heath Smith, and then Tina Ruiz also. So wonderful to see them. And then also the Qnity team, there's JP and Michelle, as well as a couple of their guests, Mo and Soyoung. And then our good friends from Breeze in Texas. And then, back to this, it seems like we got a little bit of a theme today, and it has to do with emerging owners and partners. And we had Shira Madrone there from Gervais, and she had 2 members of her team, as well as a member of her team who she just co-opened a location with. So we're going to stay tuned on that one, see how that goes with Shira and her key employee, because here again, we have next generation becoming an owner and doing it in a really cool and a seamless way. And then finally, again, back to the dinner, and then again with this concept of new owners, we were able to meet with, last year, I was in a Serious Business class, and I was sitting right next to this young woman, Amber, here. And there was a moment where we were supposed to introduce ourselves and whatever. So we introduced ourselves, and we quickly found out that she was the new owner of a business in Virginia called Tulip, where I had worked with the previous owner in his transition plan and frequently had spoke about Amber without ever having met Amber. And then this year we saw her and her fiance Jaden at Serious Business, so they joined us again. Love supporting these new owners to help them get their sea legs, and because they certainly are the next generation in the industry. And then finally, the other thing about Serious Business that that happens is there's several events within the event. For example, our dinner is an event within the event. Then there's something called Elevate, which has been led by Tatum Neal for quite some time here. And this is a creative soiree like no creative soiree you'll see. It is just sort of a club scene with hair jamming going on. And it's actually the first time I've gone because usually it happens the same time as our dinner. But Shane Wolf, who's the new, I think, CEO, I'm not sure exactly what the title is, general manager of Aveda, was off to the side, and you could just see that he was just eating it up. So it was really cool to see a beauty executive really just digging the creative aspect, and he was just transfixed by it. I talked to him the next day, and it was really cool to see creativity in an environment like this. So anyway, those are my light bulb moments for this week. I again want to congratulate and thank the Neal group, the Neal family, the Neal team, and Serious Business, as well as our team for making such a great event. So, you know, as we look at the year and where we're at, I mean, like I said, we're already 3 weeks into the year. And if we can draw inspiration and get some new ideas and connect with people early in the year, I think it gives you that kind of momentum that's needed, especially in a very Arctic type situation. I mean, as we speak today, there is snow in places where there's not normally snow and ice in places there's not normal ice. We've actually had a warming up here. We have had a change in the neighborhood of 48 degrees. I think I did my math on this right. We had a 48-degree swing in temperature from like, I think it was like -19, and it'll be in the high 20s today, or, you know, so it's 40 degree. I don't know what the math is. Anyway, you get the point. It's a big change. So anyway, guys, that's what I got for you today. We're going to be doing more of these shorter episodes of Lightbulb Moments. And thanks for tuning us today. I'll take a moment to check out the chat. I also want to thank Lightheart Sanders and Zanotti for being sponsors. And we wish all of you a great rest of the week. And hopefully we'll see you next week. Thanks again. Bye now.